All right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Client Interviews. Today we have Louise Booth. Louise is located in Sydney right now, but she's originally from the UK. And Louise joined us about 11 months ago. And in 11 months, she has gone from barely doing 5K a month in her business. I think it's an agency business where you have your marketing agency and you have clients that you deliver a service to, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So from barely making 5K months to now consistently doing $30,000 months, basically 6xing her revenue. And as a result of that, it's unlocked, her being able to spend more time with her daughter and many other things that we're going to discuss today. So Luis, I'll let you introduce yourself, a little bit about you, anything that I might have missed.
Yeah. So I'm Louise Booth. I'm living here in Sydney. I have three kids. They're 7, 5, and 2. And I started my business in June or July 2020.
Gotcha. July 2020. And you joined us in 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, in around March, April, I think.
Yeah, March. I just looked at that. I was like, oh yeah, March.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 11 months. So what motivated you to get started with the business?
Okay, so it's actually a video that you did.
Okay.
I was thinking about it, and then I saw a video that you did where you talked about, like, if you wanted to start your business, it's better for you to not be an employee. Like, it's hard to be both people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of made me realize, it kind of solidified it in my mind that I'm going to have to leave my job to really do this and to become a business owner and not be one foot in like corporate life and one foot in business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I essentially manifested leaving my job. They decided to close the entire marketing department down, which was awesome. Wow. So it happened, and then I could start my business. And yeah.
That's fantastic. So how did you know that you wanted to start this business? And were you considering other opportunities? What was your journey as an entrepreneur, even in the decision-making process? What was that like?
It was really messy. I'll be honest, it was messy. So I thought, well, I've been in marketing for 17 years.
Yeah.
I've worked in a lot of large corporates. I've run marketing departments. Obviously, I should run a marketing agency.
Right.
And then I kind of started looking around, and everyone was saying, pick a niche, do one service to one niche. And I'm like, all right, then I'll do Facebook ads to dentists. It never sat
Everyone
well
picks that, I feel like.
Right. And it never gelled with me. And I had the most awful time. Honestly, It was so hard to compete. It's such a saturated market. Mm-hmm. I had to do so much work just to even get on the phone with a dentist. I got all the runaround from their receptionist. Finally got some clients before Christmas of that year. So from July until December, I finally got about 4 clients. And then with COVID and everything, I lost them all just around Christmas time. They were like, look, patients can't even come into the dental practice. We don't need more clients. So I lost all my clients, and I was back to 0 by January.
Okay. And then how did it evolve from there?
So then in January, my grandmother died. She was 101. And she was like a massive role model in my life, because she always lived her life doing whatever she was passionate about. Like, she followed her joy, essentially. And she was very wealthy. She was an opera singer, flower arranger. I mean, she just did what made her happy. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I think I'll work with accountants. So I was still in this mindset of one service to one niche. So I started working with accountants, and I felt really positive about it. I'm like, they're not really going to be affected by COVID. I'll be able to do all this stuff. And by the way, everything had been really roller coaster with my emotions, as you can imagine, with everything that I went through. And all the pressure of I have to make this work. I need to feed my family.
How many kids? So how many kids did you have back then? Just
so 3, 3, 2 in daycare and 1 in school. And daycare fees are not cheap. Having them in full-time daycare, and rent and food and everything. And so I started working with accountants. I felt really positive about it. I was getting a lot of leads, a lot of new clients, and then I just crashed. I was like, I don't even know how to get results for them. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I just hit such a low point. So low. And that's when I joined your program.
Gotcha. Okay. So from what I recall, when you joined the program, you said you were at the point where, you were working hard, you were taking massive action, all of those things were in place, but you just didn't feel certain and confident in your ability. And I think one of the biggest things that I remember is you didn't feel confident in your ability to get your clients results, right? So how do you think that sort of affected you in acquiring clients, um, fulfilling your services, and like, you know, how did your business change as a result of your mindset changing?
Um, it was so tough. I can't tell you, like, to have that much doubt, like that much self-doubt, and to get up every day and do work for clients. And I worked probably harder than I needed to, like really long hours. I didn't see my kids. It was awful. Like, they were just crying outside the door of my office, wanting me to make them breakfast. And I'm like, no, 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 I gotta get results for these clients now. I've made this promise to them. Like, I can't tell you how like heart-wrenching it was to see my kids crying all the time because I'm not with them.
Yeah.
And it really affected the relationship I had with my youngest one, because she was still very mummy at that age.
Yeah.
And you know, I did my best with the clients that I had. Like, I tried everything, and they were really nice about it. They were like, a lot of them I didn't get results for them, and they were like, look, but you worked really hard, you tried really hard. It was like no bad kind of, you know, energy with them. But it just took everything out of me. I didn't have anything more, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't carry on like this. I can't carry on with this roller coaster of sometimes feeling like on top of the world and I can just do everything, to then completely crashing down.
Right.
And I just wanted some consistency. And I realized that, like, while I'm good at manifesting events or things, I actually need to shift my personality. I can't be the same person.
So what made you realize that it was you, that like your personality and how you perceive the world, that was the problem, and not like, oh, let's just pick a different niche?
Yeah. I think because I'd already pivoted, and I was like, things haven't changed. It's kind of like when you think, oh, I'm not happy in my life, I'll move house or I'll move to a different country, and then the problems still follow you around.
Yeah.
Eventually you realize, don't you? You're like, this isn't changing, something's wrong with me. And I'd see other
God, that's so
entrepreneurs
huge.
out there.
That is huge.
Yeah. And I'd see other entrepreneurs out there, and they had, like, I had a mentor at the time that was like, you know, your problems in your business don't disappear when you become more successful. They probably get bigger, but you're a bigger person, so that they don't seem as big. And I was like, well, other people have these problems and they're not on the floor. So there has to be something about me that I need to change.
Totally. And even other areas of your life, right? Like, I think this is what Tony Robbins says, like, you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that reflect in your business. And just because you grow in your business doesn't mean these personal problems, whether this be with your marriage or your health, they just magically go away. You know, it's just like, it's just inevitably waiting to bring you back, to bring you down, but you keep suppressing it and like stuffing it away.
Yeah. And I've been doing a lot of like Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation, and the same problems with that. I can get in a really great state in the meditation, but as soon as I come out of it, I'm the same person with the same problems. I haven't moved forward.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So I guess, what was your experience like going through the 6 weeks of the program? Like, because you were in a particular situation at that exact point when you joined, and then you made the decision to commit to this process of this internal growth. So as you went through the program, like, is there any like gradual shifts? Was there a sudden shift? Like, you know, if you could describe your journey, I think that would be pretty great.
Yeah. So as I went through the program, I realized that a lot of what you teach in there is about doing certain things consistently. And that's what I needed, was that consistency. And I remember like talking to your team saying, I just want to know what I need to do every day. I'll do it, to help me shift who I am and not be the victim of myself, as it were. And so I was going through it. I was doing the exercises. I was doing the things every day. And I think what shifted, it's hard to remember what shifted initially. I think it was the fact that I wasn't holding on so tightly to everything. I kind of let go. I think it was a surrender, like a gradual surrender of like.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember because
like,
you were literally about to quit your job. You posted in the group. I think you came on the call. You said you were about to. You were about to get a job. You're about to quit your business, and you were like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm about to get a job. And literally, right when you're about to get a job, that's when like clients started to hit you up, and you had business.
Yeah. So I can't, like, yes. So there were 2 points. There was one where I was like, yeah, I literally was just looking for jobs. And my husband was like, no, just keep going. And I'm like, do you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if this business works out or it doesn't. I can just get a job and then figure it out later. Like, I just have to stop being so wedded to certain outcomes, because it's obviously having a bad effect on me. And yeah, I did. That was the first jump. And then a little bit later on, I actually came on one of your calls and said that I had like moved into like massive surrender, where I basically shifted away from this friggin' Facebook ads for accountants thing. It was just like, I'll just do anything, any marketing service. I've got a really broad background. I can actually help people with anything.
Okay.
And as soon as I started doing that,
uh-huh.
it just like, for example, I just give you some example. Like before I was doing like cold email, cold LinkedIn. I had a full-time VA doing cold email. I was doing cold LinkedIn. I was doing like Facebook posts and, you know, connecting with people on Facebook, doing the appointment setting. Like I had all of I was running ads, everything, right? All going at the same time. As soon as I like surrendered, people came to me, and people that were interesting and people where the work was fulfilling. Could never have predicted that. Like, for example, I connected with a guy on LinkedIn. He ran a disability service business, which helps people with a disability, like whatever services they need. And what he does is like a game changer in Australia. Like no one else is doing it. And he asked me to help him with his brand strategy, marketing strategy, website content. I'm still working with him almost a year later now.
Oh, wow. That's great retention.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing what we're doing. But like just this people just came from everywhere. And when I jumped on that call with you, I'm like, maybe I've surrendered too much because I really don't know where the business is going. Like I've just got this project over here and this person, and I landed a big client, and I I think within 2 months they'd spent about 12K with me on strategy work. And that was like really interesting and fun. And it was like, I just stopped trying so hard. And they came, like, that was a friend of a friend that gave me that big client. Like they came from unexpected places.
So the client just came from LinkedIn. Oh, like, is this someone that you were connected to?
I just connected with him. I didn't even write him a message, and he just saw my profile and was like, can you help me with my business? Spoke to him for an hour on the phone. And then I was like, met him for coffee, and we're still working together. And then, the other one was like a mom friend. Her husband called me out of the blue and was like, our head of marketing left. Can you help us with our marketing strategy? I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
So from what I understand, like everything was like at a stagnation point, you know, it was kind of like money was coming in, maybe a little bit, maybe not. It's up and down. It's a roller coaster. When did it all of a sudden start to blow up?
I can't remember which week it was where it was all about the surrender and the mirror and everything. And I just really focused on those practices.
No, but like when last year, like in your life?
When? Oh gosh, it must have been around, so that March, April, May time.
Okay.
And that large client started at the beginning of June. So like a couple of months after
joining the program.
The program. Wow. That's when my income jumped to about 15K a month consistently.
So, and prior to that, you've never made like more than 10K, right?
Oh God, no. It was more like, and I wasn't really charging enough either. So it really was around the 4 to 5K mark.
Okay. So when did you change how much you were charging?
Gradually throughout last year.
Got it.
I started to increase. I realized I was just charging like nothing.
How did you realize that?
Seeing that people weren't taking what I was showing them seriously enough. Like 17 years experience, I do know what I'm talking about. And they weren't really, they were like, yeah. And I'm like, well, obviously charging $350 for a marketing strategy is not enough because you're not taking it seriously. And it's worth way more than that. So
isn't it crazy? Because we found that to be so true as well. Like whenever we raise our prices, we get much better, much more committed clients. And we may not get as many clients, but the clients that we do get fantastic results. And they're great to have in the community. They engage, they really value it. And when you try to explain this to people, like even just like, I don't know, people who are not maybe in the entrepreneurial space, they're like, oh, you shouldn't be charging a lot of money. You know, you're doing a social service. You should be doing this for free. But the unfortunate reality is people don't pay attention if they don't pay. When you pay attention. So did you see some sort of like a different quality of clients, different kind of commitment from your clients when you started to value your service more by charging more for it?
Yeah, definitely. So they would respect my opinions. They would put it into action. This larger client, they've done everything I've told them. And the average client value for this client is $2 million. And I've generated them 4 leads that are going to convert. So when you think about it, like I've generated them a lot of revenue.
That's like 8 million then.
Yeah. So they do what I tell them to do. So yeah, it definitely makes a huge difference if you charge more.
I've got this like this screenshot here of what you posted in the group. I just want to quickly share it. Um, how you went from 5K to 30K months in your business. And I think one of the things that I was interested in was you mentioned how you were worried about getting results for your clients. And I believe that was, when you were working with the dentists and, when you were working with the accountants. So what realization made you like open up your niche? Because, you hear all around like, oh, the riches are in the niches. You've got to niche down as much as you can and get all laser focused. What made you go against like, I don't know, conventional business advice?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly the reason why, because in tandem to these like gurus saying you should pick a niche
Yeah.
are a lot of people that aren't actually happy in their business or fulfilled, and all they're doing is thinking about the money and knowing that the money will enable them to do what they love. And I'm like, no, I want to love every day that I come into the office. And I don't buy into this. You just have to grind it and then you can enjoy your life. I don't believe it at all. And I think that if you go broad, the niche will find you, or your passion will come through. Because it just wasn't, it was hard for me because I was going against what my soul wants to do. Like, I don't know, I'm going against the grain, as it were.
Right.
And after I went really broad, only in October of last year did I really like find my passion. It's like dating and then suddenly like, that's the one.
Yeah, I
But if you
mean,
don't date lots of people, you're not going to know who the
you're
one
never
is.
going
So
to
it's kind
know.
of like,
Yeah, it's like hiring. Like you're never going to know until you speak to a lot of people and you're hiring for a position. I mean, you don't even know what the position is until you start speaking to people. Then when you meet the
yeah,
person, you're like, oh my God, this is the person.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so now I do have a niche, but it found me and I was
So
just open to whatever.
how would you describe your niche now?
So now I do personal branding for small business owners and corporate executives, which is all around helping them build their reputation online to differentiate themselves, stand out from the market. And the premise of everything is being your unique self and finding your unique voice rather than just being like everyone else in the market.
I think that's fantastic. And I'm a huge believer in that. Like your voice will get totally drowned out if you just try to copy someone and replicate someone, as opposed to if you just, because if you're your unique self, there is no competition. You're literally standing out. You're shining in this sea of like whatever's going on.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly right. Exactly. And now I'm doing a business that like I have to pull myself away from it on weekends because I just want to keep going. Like I just love it so much. And I think it comes through when I meet people, when I'm on sales calls, because they don't really understand what personal branding is. And then when I talk to them about it, they're like, oh yeah, I totally need your help with that. But it just all flows naturally. So I'm not like busy trying to figure out how to get better at doing sales or looking at scripts and stuff for sales. I'm just being myself, sharing my passion and knowing that I'll be able to help the right people that want that kind of help.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's not like you have to be robotic and try to get an outcome. It just naturally flows out because you're passionate.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So you've taken your business from 5K to 30K. You found your core passion and created a business that absolutely energizes you. Now you can take Mondays off to be with your daughter and you actually love the clients that you work with. So with all of these things, this huge shift, like looking at life right now versus life before, what do you think was like the biggest thing, or the biggest concept, or the biggest takeaway, the biggest epiphany that you had that really made this shift happen?
Gosh, like I feel like there were so many different things that kind of contributed to it. It definitely, okay, one of the things was definitely believing in myself. I don't know why I didn't now looking back, because I had so much marketing experience, but I came in treating myself like I knew nothing and I didn't value the expertise that I had. I do honestly believe that a lot of what you want to know is already inside you, and no one's listening to their inner guidance enough. They think that some guru outside has to tell them how they should be doing things. But maybe I had to go through that journey to realize that. So there's
Definitely.
no, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Or else you wouldn't be here today if you didn't go through that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I have no regrets, but yeah, so really believing in yourself and your gifts, and that everyone has something to give. Everyone has something to give. Everyone has something they can share with the world and can grow a business or a lifestyle that they want. Believing that it's possible, I think, was really key for me, knowing that I could do this. And then, like you said, just constantly looking at the positive things that had happened as I was starting to make that shift, like that
The
positive reinforcement.
confirmations.
Yes, huge, huge. Because you're
Everyone
always
talks
looking at
about
what's
that.
going wrong. Always looking at what's going wrong. At the end of the day, I write it all down, all the things that have gone well, that I've succeeded at. And obviously like the Platt technique, and trying to just keep in that zone of where I want to be and who I want to be, rather than being consumed by what's happening around me. So all those
I've got to
things
admit though,
together.
Louise, when you went through the program, we didn't see much of you in the community. I think you were just quietly executing. And we do see this like a lot. Like there's a couple of people who just come in and like never say anything, but then they'll just make a dramatic shift just through following the program, like going through the material and applying. So I'm just, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I'll share one thing. This is a bit embarrassing, but I'll be really honest. So I did the program, I followed everything, I went through all of the weeks, I executed, and then I dropped off. And then I stopped.
Oh.
And then I had a dip and I was like, this isn't right. And then I was like, no, go back, watch the program again and stick to it. And then I realized that the last 2 weeks I hadn't actually done the exercises. So I went back, I did everything, and this time I stuck with it. So I guess I'm just mentioning that for anyone that's done what I've done.
Right.
Go back and just be consistent with it, because then you will get the results. So that's why I was quiet, because I think I did it and then I dropped off a little bit, and then I was like, no, go back, do it properly. And then I did, and then I got the results.
Right. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, when I see it, like a lot of the people who get really successful with the program is they've gone through it multiple times, not just the one time. Like I just posted like an email today to the customer list. One of our customers, Manu, who completely dramatically changed his life. You know, he raised like 1.2 million in seed funding for his new startup. And, you know, he just had like back then 2 years ago when he joined, his startup wasn't like, he had a startup, but it failed. He was just going through a tough relationship, a tough breakup. And now he's found love again. And so he's completely changed his life. And he's been through the program. This is his sixth iteration going through it. So it's like you see new things every time. It's kind of like reading a book. You know, when you read it for the second time, it's like things jump out at you because your consciousness level is different now as opposed to how it was before when you came in, and you're looking for different things now, you know?
Yes, actually, Bob Proctor used to say that he'd read the same book or the same part of a book over and over and over again. He's like, that's how you should read a book.
Yeah, no,
Repeat.
I totally agree with that. And I think I've been reading a book like that too. Like good books are meant to be read multiple times.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go. Oh, so the other thing I was going to mention was that, you know, I can't remember what it's called now, but you know that document that you write about your ideal self and then your goals and everything?
Your self-mastery guide.
Yes, that I read like morning and night. I've done a few iterations of it. And then I was looking at one that I did last year. It was in March, my March one. And my goal for last year was to hit 30K months.
No way.
Yeah, exactly. It says 30K.
For 12
and I hit
months.
It in December.
Okay, so you hit it in nine months.
Yeah.
Wow! Congratulations. That's huge.
It's just freaky when you see something that you
it is
wrote
freaky. But it's
down.
only freaky, and it only happens when you don't like when you look back at that document and you didn't have it, like you weren't like thinking about it every day, like you weren't thinking about 30K months, 30K months, 30K months. You know what I mean? Like you just let go of it. You thought about it, made the decision, let go of it, and all of a sudden, oh look, here's my old self-mastery guide. I hit it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is fantastic. So I guess what would you say like some of the biggest things apart from surrender and letting go that you took away from the program? You know, the self-mastery guide, surrendering. If you could name one more thing that you thought was really useful for you in making this transformation to becoming the Luis that makes 30K months.
I think a part of it was like being really clear on my ideal self and having like those role models, those people that I kind of would refer to as being people that I want to be similar to in certain areas of my life, and being really clear about, well, how would that person, saying to myself every day, well, how would that person show up? How would they deal with that problem? And just really focusing on being my ideal self and who I'm being, what I'm doing in those situations really helped me to shift. Because, you know, when I started my business, I struggled to put myself out there and to be on video and to do things. And I've had to become that ideal version that's really comfortable and focused on service and not like worried about how I look or how I feel. So for me, it's really been clear on those role models and those traits, those personality traits that I want to adopt, and then being really focused on becoming that version.
That's
I think
awesome.
It's been really big for me.
What's your personality type? Do you know, like in the Myers-Briggs?
INJ something or other. I can't remember now. One of the really rare ones, actually, like Mother Teresa's one, but very like introverted, more creative than analytical.
INFJ?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you find that, like an understanding of yourself, like helps you understand more like what's necessary for you to get to the goals that you want to get to, like just that self-awareness? Like, is that something you think about, like your own patterns, what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are?
Yeah, I do actually. I do think about that. I think about being the introverted personality really like had to be something that I fixed and that I just shifted out of so that I could be put myself out there. And that also comes back to this feeling of self-worth, like that you like, know that you're worthy and, deserving of what you're looking to achieve. The other, like also working to my strengths. So being that creative type of personality, being good at creative problem solving. I'm like, well, that's a strength that I have. How can I amplify it and make it work more for me?
Right.
Rather than tempering things that are obviously working for me. And then that kind of analytical side that I've had to build up as well. So yeah, like you have to be really aware of it. Sometimes it helps to see how your role model would handle a situation or how they talk about things.
Yeah.
But yeah, having role models has been really helpful for just shifting my personality to be more similar to them, knowing that I'm still my unique self. It's not me trying to be them, but
You're just taking bits and pieces.
Yes,
exactly. Right. And making them your own. I'm curious, who are your role models?
Alex Hormozy.
Okay. He's good.
Yeah. So him from a very business strategy perspective, very love him. Shamina Taylor, I really like her energy and she's very much like herself. And very self-confident and she has really amazing magnetic kind of energy. So for me, it's like the female role model that's very magnetic, big energy, lot of self-belief. And then Alex Hormozy, that's very like the analytical, strategic, numbers, data-driven business owner. So they're the two main ones.
Gotcha. I like it. You keep it very focused and, there's like that creativity, that creative side going on, the more feminine energy going on. And you've also got a bit of like the analytical, the masculine energy going on. And there's like a yin and yang, kind of like a balance of that. And that seems to be working out quite well for you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
So how do you like implement that though? So for someone watching, if they were to, have their own role models and they were thinking of like bringing this into their daily lives, how would you like advise them to do it based on how you do it?
That's a really interesting question. So Alex takes a lot of emotion out of business. It's very black and white. This is what you need to do to be successful. Just go and execute it. So when I'm feeling self-doubt or I don't feel like picking up the phone and calling a lead, I think about Alex would just do it. In fact, he would have called 50 leads by now. So just pick up the phone and do it. Like that's the Alex side of things, right? Like this is business. This is what you need to do. A team member's not performing and I need to let them go. It's just business. So just make the decision quickly and just go ahead and do it. Like just execute on it. So that's very much the Alex side of things. Then with the Shamina, I think her personality is very much like this. It's your presence. It's like, how do you actually show up? How do you have like that self-belief and confidence in yourself when you show up, whether that's in meetings with clients. And so I'm really focusing on my energy before a meeting. Like maybe I'll do a bit of breath work or something so that I can come in really pumped, especially like, let's say I had a client who's maybe not happy with how something's going. And I think it's going to be a really difficult situation. Then I'm going to focus on my energy, be really grateful that they're a client, think of all of the great things about this client that I really love about working with them and just go, whatever happens, happens. If they decide they don't want to work together anymore, that's fine. But I'm going to go and give my best energy that's full of love and appreciation.
Right.
And the same with my video content. I want to have that kind of high energy feel about what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and know that it's not just about being like the Alex side where it's just all of the data and numbers and everything. There's also about this like aspirational side to it as well.
Right. That's very interesting that you share that. Like it's also, I believe, will be really helpful for people who deal with like clients on a regular basis, because inevitably you're going to have difficult clients. You're going to have clients who are not fully satisfied with your service. That's a reality of running a business. So if you could just go back to that, like how do you find that when you get a situation where a client's not satisfied or they're just plain being difficult, what's the best way you found to deal with it?
Well, I realized partly through your program is like if I am at a certain energy level, I can affect other people and their energy. So that's why I'm really going to focus on getting myself into a really good place of like gratitude and love before I go into this call. Firstly, I've already accepted and come to terms with the fact that the worst thing that can happen, the worst outcome is this client leaves.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. If they want to leave, that's fine. There's abundance mindset. There's more clients out there.
Right.
As long as I know that I've done everything I could to help them, I can't always control the outcome of a campaign, for example, whether the ads are going to work or not.
Right.
And I'm going to think about what are the things that they might bring up. I want to kind of preempt a bit. What I think their problems are. What I think may be going on for them in their background. What could be the stresses in their business that's causing them to feel this way? They're obviously like in a kind of fear state, right? Like if they're upset about a campaign or something, there's some sort of fear or upset or expectations that maybe they are on them in their business. So I try and get into the context of what they might be going through. And then
just that
my
empathy.
role, empathy, right? Like what could be happening to them? Like I have a client who's very successful. He makes $50 million a year in his business. And yet he has such a scarcity mindset around spending money on marketing. He's afraid to spend money on marketing. I'm like, how can you be that abundant and yet have that? But anyway, people do, right? So
kind of like Warren Buffett, he lives in a little cheap house, and he's like one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny, but you just accept that. Like, as I have realized through this program, I have my limitations and my blocks. So do everyone else. And so we should be compassionate that everyone's going through their thing. And so I'm going to really think about what they might be going through, think about the different outcomes, and just be there as a guide for them to help them through whatever happens.
Right.
As soon as I get on the call, because I feel so thankful that they've been a client, that they're so good, I start off with a bit of chat, and then, we get into whatever the problem is. And I just want to hear them speak and let it out, let them release that energy that they've got pent up, that they've been waiting to say on the call, let it out. And I just want to clarify and understand and repeat back to them what they're going through. So you feel like this way and this isn't working for you. Okay, well, let's look at some other options, or let's see if there's anything that we can do differently that could help fix this. So I'm going to be in solution mode and helping them through what could be a solution. Like I said, some clients do leave and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I appreciate this didn't work out. You did everything you could. That's kind of how I want them to feel good. Like some of the clients I never got, run Google ads for 2 months and never got them one lead, not even a lead, not even one phone call. Still friends, still like my posts and comment on my posts on LinkedIn. But I never got him any results.
Yeah. And I mean, it's amazing that, you can openly share all of this stuff, because it shows to me that you're not in scarcity mindset. You know what I mean? Like when you can talk about this stuff comfortably, and, you can admit that not everyone's perfect. Everyone goes through shit in their lives. It's just how you deal with it. But also, like, I feel like especially when I started off and I would have a tricky client, I would just get really flustered because I was in that scarcity mindset when I started off. I was like, oh no, I could lose it all. Do you see what I mean? It's like that scarcity mindset is when we don't when we don't allow ourselves to have abundance, when we don't allow ourselves to be that 30, 40, 50K a month, or however much a month business owner you want to be. When you deep down know that, oh, this is not going to be permanent. You see what I mean? So when you believe deep down that this is not going to be permanent, you will naturally try to grab everything that you can right now. So in that way, I feel like a lot of business owners who are starting off, they are in that scarcity mindset, and their energy is very closed off. So do you have any advice for people to get more into that abundance mindset, get more into that surrender state that you've gotten into? You've gotten out of that massive action, grind hard, do outreach, do all of that, into more of, you know what, it's okay. The right clients will come to me. And if this client has to go, then they have to go. That's completely fine too. I know there are more fish in the sea. There's going to be better clients. Something better was meant for me anyways. How do you get yourself into that attitude? What really helped you do that?
Yeah, that's a really good one, and it's such a powerful thing as well when you come from that place of just feeling like things just come and go, people
Yeah.
come and go. It's all
Because that's what
fine.
happens when you believe that, when you live from that, from that energy.
Yes, yeah, it's true. And like sometimes I'll just be really clear. I'm not like, yes, I have a meditation group, and a lot of people think that because someone healed themselves in meditation, their life's just like happily ever after. It's like, you never get sick again. It's like, and then they do. And then they're like, well, what happened to you? You healed yourself and then you got
Yeah.
sick again. It's like, we all have these still like these little like negative thoughts or days when I'm not feeling as like abundant as I want to feel.
Yeah.
And it's being able to not connect to those negative thoughts and kind of let them pass by. And if you catch yourself going, oh my goodness, I'm getting really attached to, my clients aren't showing up for coaching calls, they're not going to get results, I have to just let that go and go, you know what, I'm just here to support them on their journey. It's up to them. They get results at the perfect time for them if that's what they truly desire.
So that's how you talk, that's how you speak to yourself, right?
That's how I speak to myself. I'm like, I love my clients. I will follow up with them on a weekly basis because I care about them and I want them to know that I care and I'm here for them whenever they need me. But I like, if they don't want to show up and do the work, it's okay. Like that's up to them. I just want them to know that I'm here regardless.
One key thing, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
One key thing that you mentioned was, I don't let myself get attached to those negative thoughts. I know because everyone has these negative thoughts. Like you mentioned, everyone has a bad day. How do you, not let yourself get attached to the negative thoughts?
Yeah. So 2 ways. One is, I'm like, imagine I'm standing in a stream of water and the water's going over my feet, and that is the thoughts. As soon as I feel like a negative thought coming up, like, oh my goodness, I've like got so much work to do today, I'm like, just watch it. It's just going to flow past. It's just energy, right? Thoughts are just energy. Just let it go by. Or I imagine it's a bus and I'm like, don't get on that bus. That's like the negative bus, not taking you anywhere good. You just see it as the bus, like the bus go by. Or I just say nothing is more important than feeling good right now. Nothing is more important than feeling good right now. As soon as
that's the mantra that you say to yourself.
Yes.
That's brilliant. I love that.
And I do it in meditation. If I'm in meditation and I start thinking, nothing is more important than meditating right now, to cancel out the thoughts in meditation. So yeah, I use it in 2 ways.
So that's how you're constantly almost bringing yourself to the center. You're centering yourself instead of moving and going with that bus or going with that river and stream of thought.
Yeah, I'm doing that. And then obviously I'm doing the Platt technique. I'm doing the stuff about myself. Like I'm reading that morning and night, and I'm doing a lot of meditation. The days that I don't do those things are the days when, the thoughts attack me and I can't fight them off as much. But when I'm really consistent with the exercises in the program, then I'm more centered and feel more abundant. And I do like at least an hour of meditation a day. And I try to get into a feeling of abundance. And for me, a feeling of abundance is carefree, like a kid just playing outside, whatever you need. Kids don't worry about when their next meal's coming or their next thing. All their needs are met and they're not doing anything. They're just having fun. That's abundance.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true. I just have like a curious question, because it seems like you've really found your groove with all the routines and the meditations. Don't you sometimes feel like, why does life have to be this way? Why couldn't I just, not have to do anything and just be as I am right now? Does that thought ever occur to you? If so, how do you like deal with it?
Yeah, it's funny because my guru's like that, right? Like I have a guru and he's just like, just abundant and happy and funny all the time. And it's just because of all this negative programming that we've picked up and accepted in our life. Like if we were like a clean slate, like starting from day one again, or, maybe we would just be like that and we wouldn't have to do all this work. I feel like we're countering all the negative programming.
All the years of conditioning.
Yes, exactly. So it's kind of like, it takes some time. They say like once you've had a baby, don't expect to just lose the weight straight away. It took 9 months to get that big. It's not going to just suddenly disappear the next day. So I feel like it's the same thing. You've got to keep reconditioning. It's just like going to the gym. You're just reconditioning yourself back to who you are, essentially. If we're all abundance, then we're just getting back to ourselves.
That's a great way of looking at it. I love that. I'm curious too, like, how about other areas of your life apart from business? Like, how do you think this shift in mindset and you becoming this and continually becoming this new person in your family life, in your health, in your relationship with your husband, maybe? How do you feel all of these things have really affected these other areas of your life?
Yeah, well, it's made me realize that with my kids, like I've obviously worked on becoming more of the kind of parent that I want to be to my kids, which is that very kind of unconditional love and patience, which can be hard as a parent. And I realized that I really want to teach this stuff to my kids, because I can see their negative programming is there already, right? That I can't do this, I'll never be good at that. Like it's already starting at this age. So I'm trying to figure out ways to kind of be that role model for them. They sit with me when I'm meditating, you know, they try and do yoga with me. It's like those things are going to have a really big impact on them, and the way I talk to them about life and how it really works. They want to learn that from me. And so that's really amazing. It's like, can I help them to maybe reduce or counter the negative programming as it's happening to them as a child, so that they never have that much to get over as an adult. And just being in a state of appreciation. Like I have my own business. I can just go off and have coffee in a cafe if I want right now, or on a Monday.
In the middle of the day, you could do that.
In the middle of the day. And I can just play in the playground with my daughter on a Monday. Or I can just say, you know what, at 3:00, I'm going to finish work and just pick up my kids from school, and maybe we'll go to the park, or we'll do some baking or something. Like it's really random, right? Or I can decide at 7:00 at night that I just feel like recording some videos, and I'll just disappear into my room and record some video content. I think it's like having a routine, but also just when you feel inspired in a moment, just doing what you feel inspired to do.
Right. And how about, I'm just curious to know, like, how about like maybe your husband, when he's seen you go from, you know, barely making it with the business, almost on the verge of giving up, to now making 30K a month? You know, how did he react to that?
Well, he was the one that kind of pushed me through in the beginning. He was like, "You're not going to get a job. You were never happy in your, you know, whatever company you're working at." Like he was the one that kept just saying, "No, like if we have to use our savings, we'll use our savings." He was just like, "No, every time, no." And
ladies and gentlemen, get you a husband like that. Get
yeah.
you a husband like that. Oh my God.
Yeah. And he kind of looks at me like, he just shrugs like, "Well, I knew you could do it." Like, so that even more shows me my lack of self-belief. He didn't have a problem believing in me. Like, you know, ex-colleagues from work, like since I've been like running my business, ex-colleagues and people want to meet me and see what I'm doing and how I managed to do it. And like, none of them are surprised. I always had like really great feedback from managers and stuff, but that was the other thing, was I was always seeking approval from outside. I think you get that working in corporate career. Is my manager happy with me? Are they happy with what I'm doing? And then you get like that with your clients. My client's happy. I better call them 10 times a day. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Just needing that validation all the time. That's also a problem. But yeah, he just shrugs his shoulders. He's like, "Yep, that's cool."
Wow. That's great to have people like that in your life who like unconditionally kind of believe in you, and they kind of see your true value, even at moments when you can't see it for yourself, right?
Oh yeah, and I've had the times when I've been like crying in the kitchen, like, you know, I dropped the ball.
If you're an entrepreneur and you don't cry, you're doing something wrong.
It's so true.
If you're an entrepreneur and you're not crying like at least once a quarter, you're definitely doing something wrong.
No, that's so true. But yeah, you can be lonely. You can feel like you know, I'm in this room on my own all day, you know, and it's good to do things like we're doing now, so people realize you're not on your own and you're not going through this on your own either.
So what is a typical day in the life of Louise look like? Like what's your daily routine?
Yeah, so I meditate at 5 a.m. until probably about 6:30. Then I read my, you know, profile on myself. Then I do the Platt technique, and I do it for a bit longer because I really want to get in the feeling of abundance, and abundance disconnected from my business. So I'm happy for money to come to me in ways that aren't necessarily related to me working, which I actually just manifested a huge sum of money, which is really awesome. So it works.
Nice.
So I just want to feel abundant, and money can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to come from my business.
Mm-hmm.
I do a gratitude meditation. Yeah, so I have quite a long morning routine, bit of a gratitude meditation as well. Feel really good. Maybe I connect in with my guides if I want some guidance, and then I'll get the kids ready for school. they get dropped off, and then probably about 8:30 I start my day. Got my plan for the day already. And if I feel inspired, that will be the time that I do my social post or record videos. And then I've got client meetings and meeting with my team and working on my business and my brand. Maybe I do like a podcast interview or things like that. Just basically the day of my business.
Mm-hmm.
Taking little breaks to just center myself, be aware. And then I take like a little lunch break, but I basically just work solidly throughout the day because once I'm in the zone, I don't really want to
Get out of
do
the
other
zone.
things. Yeah,
Right. I get it.
Yeah, like every day is different. Like yesterday, I worked from 5 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Like I had quite a long day.
Oh, wow.
And then some days I might do like a half day, like I've got to take my son to medical appointments. So I can't really say it's like set. And I think that's the thing with being a parent is it's not going to be like really set. It's like, well, yesterday I had a medical appointment at 3 o'clock with my son. So, you know, I had to stop for an hour then. So it really varies. But then, yeah, I work very solidly on my business. And then at the end of the day, which is probably around 4 o'clock, I'm going to be reviewing my day. What did I get done? How did I show up? How aligned was I to my ideal self?
Yeah.
What could I do differently? I'm going to read my guide again, then pick up the kids and have like kiddie time, dinner, homework, play with them, put them to bed, and then I'm going to read. And I usually read like books that are more aligned to what's in your program.
Right.
I still really like to focus on my mindset and how I'm showing up.
When's hubby time?
Well, he's there. He watches TV. He's really into TV and I'm not really into TV. So we chat and everything when we're with the kids and have dinner and everything. And then he watches TV, but I want to read or I want to meditate or do something along those lines.
Do you guys spend some time together like on the weekends or?
Yeah, the weekends. Finally managed to get out of the zone of feeling like I need to work on weekends. Sometimes you just feel like you need to be doing something all the time in your business.
It's just that insecurity, you know?
It
takes a long time to realize like, wait, I'm not doing anything productive right now. So why just do anything at all? Why don't I just spend time with my family, you know?
Why do we feel like we need to be working all the time? I've really, like, that's something I really struggled with, but now I'm taking the weekends off. And then I have so much more clarity when I go to work, when I've taken the weekend off.
You got to get out of the zone if you want to really get in the zone.
Yes, that's so true. We go for walks outside. We go to the beach. I'm like really into nature and just, the kids don't have tablets or watch a lot of TV. I'm all about being outside.
Yeah.
I think being in nature is kind of meditation anyway. That's what I've heard. So that's what we do on the weekends. See friends sometimes. Keep it really simple. I'm not particularly materialistic or I don't like shopping in malls or anything like that.
You just do online shopping, eh?
I even hate that too, to be honest.
just keep the same clothes, like.
Oh man, some of my clothes are like 15 years old because I just
Are you serious?
Shopping. Yeah, I hate it so much, and just
you like hate shopping. I think you're the first like female I've met who hates shopping. I'm not joking.
Yeah, furniture shopping's the worst, followed by clothes. Just can't stand either of them. Like, if you go shopping and you don't find anything you like, I think that's such a waste of time.
No, definitely. That's why I would rather like shop online on the websites that I like.
Yeah.
Instead of going in the store and you're like, all right, I don't really like anything here. Why did I just pop in here? Just wasted my time.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, we're doing like furniture shopping right now because we're moving to our new house. It's like, it's kind of crazy. Like moving is just, it's a whole new beast.
Well, I'll be doing that in April because I'll be moving house and I'll be doing the same thing. We're selling everything in Australia and moving to the UK and we'll buy everything again. So.
Oh, you're fully moving to the UK?
Yep.
What inspired that decision?
To be with my family, to spend more time with my, I had quite a few relatives die while I've been in lockdown here in Australia. So I'm really keen to just spend time with family and, go visit castles, do all the things that you can do in the UK.
Oh yeah. That's fun. There's a lot of stuff in the UK too. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in Australia and you've probably done them all.
Yeah.
By now.
So that's awesome. The plan.
So what's the business goal or like what's the next milestone for Louise moving forward?
So with personal branding, I've sort of identified the larger business owners that I want to go and support them and their teams in building their personal brands, and then the smaller business owners. So I'm really just focusing on upping my skill set just becoming a better marketer. I really realized that's something I just want to be as good as Alex Hormozi. Like, he's amazing. The reason he's so successful is he's just really good at what he does. And that's the kind of success I want to have. I just want to be really good at what I do. And so I just want to continuously work towards that, put time aside to just become better at what I do, and then focus on growing the business more and more. And over time, probably spending less time in it as I grow it bigger and I can bring more team members in.
Yeah, delegate.
Delegate, get the business a bit bigger so that I'm trying not to, the guidance I'm receiving is not to keep putting like a number figure on how much I want to earn, because I think that can cause some like stress, if you're like, oh, I've got to hit this number by this month kind of thing. So I've kind of left it open. It's more of the feeling of abundance. I just want to feel abundant every day and know that clients are coming in and, I'm making a difference. And so I'm just more going for the feeling than specific hard numbers.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because different people are different. Like you mentioned with the personality types, I've noticed like people who are more T and thinking, they need the numbers and to see like, okay, well, this is the target, this is the goal, this is what I need to move towards. And that is what gives me personally clarity, and it makes me motivated and energized and excited. I'm like, okay, I have a number to work towards, and it's simple. You just got to make the numbers work. But then for other people, when they see a number, they're like, it's kind of dry, I don't feel anything. And they need that feeling to drive them. So different people are different, and it's awesome to see how that self-awareness, helps you, and you're owning your own unique voice and your own unique style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've really learned that take the skills and the personality traits from gurus, but you don't have to do things exactly the way they've done it to be successful.
Yeah, you pick out what you want, what is applicable and is useful for you and your personal journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, Louise. So I guess just to conclude, if someone were on the fence and they're in the same exact situation that you were in when you started your business, and they're, pondering whether or not they should join, they're on the fence of joining this program, what would you say to them?
100% they should do it. And the reason why is that you can have all of the strategies and tactics for building a business or whatever you want to do. You can get it all from the gurus, but if you don't have the right character and personality, it doesn't matter if you have all the knowledge in the world, because you're not going to get the results that you want. And you are the foundation. You are everything. You create the life around you. So you have to get yourself right first. Like, that's got to be the number one priority. Even after you've been through the program, you've got results, it continues to be the number one priority, that you are working on yourself and becoming the person that you need to become. So Definitely. It's essential.
Definitely. Very well put. There is only you, and everything else, the business and everything else, is just secondary to this internal journey, this personal growth. Very well put. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope this interview was helpful. I'm going to post Louise's socials in the description box below, so you can contact her, you can reach her, and you can see her website or whatever she chooses to promote. But till next time, peace.